if you look at how the journey starts is a customer has an intent, some type of intent or a need for a financial service. Typically, no one says, I need a car loan or I need a mortgage. What they do is they want a car, they want a home. And so they have some type of intent that they need. Most customers, modern digital customers, are going to go back and start doing the research around, do they want this offering? How do they go back and choose the appropriate product or home or car or whatever that they want? And what's key is actually being able to deliver relevant offers or information where that customer is engaging so you can actually capture that customer, which really comes into that targeted engagement. So it says, let's start looking at saying, now we know they have a need, they're going back, they're doing research, let's actually start to have a targeted set of engagement so that we can engage with that customer around the particular need or the attributes around that instrument, around why they want to buy that home or say buy that car. Once we've kind of done that targeted engagement, we can use that to come back and make a determination around what's the right sort of product or service that we want to go back and recommend to that customer. So all of this stuff can be happening before they ever visit your bank's website. So all of this stuff can be done through targeted display ads. All of this can be done with email marketing campaigns, can be done on social, as we heard in some of the prior sessions, which is how are you engaged with your customer where they are before they actually get to your bank's website. Once you've kind of taken them through that overall targeted recommendation, the next stage is let's go back and actually start the acquisition or the onboarding process. And this is where we've done a lot of work on taking that process and delivering it as a digitized process. So instead of having a process that was designed for the last decade, we've looked at saying we needed to go back and deliver a process that allows me to capture the relevant data. So if it's an existing customer and I already have data, don't ask me for that data again, pull that through. If it's a brand new customer, capture the relevant data and take them actually through this process. And then also give them transparency into this process. One of the unique things that we've done with a couple of the banks that Ashwin highlighted is deliver something that we call a tracker. So most of us, I'm assuming here, have ordered something from a digital retailer. We get our tracking number from FedEx or UPS or DHL, and we can actually understand where is that goods or service actually coming to me. What we've actually done with the tracker capability in this kind of customer onboarding process is saying we want to give transparency into that process, especially if it's a long-lived workflow like a mortgage. And so what we've done there is we allow the customer to see, whether that's on their mobile, whether they go into a branch, whether they log on to the internet, where is that application in the process? So that they can, if they need to upload additional documents, they can upload those documents, take a capture of it with their smartphone. If it's actually going out to get an approval for an evaluation on the property, they can see all those details, and it does two things. One is it drives transparency around the process, so the customer has an understanding of what's going on. If the customer is buying a mortgage, they really aren't buying a mortgage. They're actually, to them, they're buying a home. The mortgage is what facilitates that transaction. It's quite an emotional kind of decision. So what they want to do is understand what's happening there. This tracker is doing two things. One is it gives that transparency into the process, but what we've also seen with the banks that we've worked with in Australia, it also has limited the amount of calls into the call center to understand, hey, where is my mortgage getting approved? Where is it in the approval process? What's the stage in it? When is this thing likely to close? Because the tracker is surfacing up that whole SLA around that process, which is really quite important. Next is really going to the customer service. So once we've got that, taken that customer through that kind of end-to-end acquisition stage, next what we want to be able to do is go back and deliver the service transactions. So this is where we have about 200 service transactions from anything from payments, inquiries, mobile wallets, a rich set of capabilities that we work with our banks to go back and decide what's the capability that you want to go back and deliver to your bank, as well as allowing you to take other capability and bake it in to build your own solution. I think a lot of customers that we're working with on this digital journey, they're migrating from a world where Self-service used to be about every bank having the exact same 10 service transactions, to a world that says I need to have 100 or 150 different sets of capability, of which maybe 30 or 40 are the same as my competitors, and the rest is something that I'm going to differentiate around how I deal with my customer. And lastly on this journey is what we want to do is actually take those interactions and turn that into really we want them to become a brand advocate for us. And so this is where we start to leverage a lot of our capability in our social cloud, which allows us to go back and track that behavior, stimulate that behavior, engage with that customer across those channels so that we can actually go back and extend the wallet share that we have with those customers.